Charles and Camilla's royal highlights from past year unveiled amid astonishing stats. Prince Charles and Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, have carried out an astonishing number of engagements in the last year despite coronavirus putting a stop to the royal schedule. The Prince of Wales and Camilla together carried out 580 official engagements, visited 90 UK towns and 14 other countries in the past year. These figures were released by Clarence House alongside an annual review of Charles and Camilla's official and charitable work in 2019-2020. The engagements included 119 overseas functions, which were conducted at the request of Her Majesty's government or at the invitation of Commonwealth realms. These countries included Ireland, France, the Netherlands, Switzerland, Germany, the Vatican City, Poland, Israel, Occupied Palestinian Territories, Oman, India, Japan, New Zealand, and a historic first visit to the Solomon Islands. In Germany, Charles spoke about the enduring ties between the UK and its European neighbors. He said in German, "Today, we are so much more than merely neighbors, we are friends and natural partners, bound together by our common experience, mutual interests and shared values." In Japan, Charles honored the enthronement of the new emperor. Both Charles and Camilla marked several somber occasions too, including Remembrance Sunday in the commemorations to mark the 75th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz-Birkenau, when they heard first-hand accounts of victims of the Holocaust. Charles also spoke at the World Holocaust Forum, where he said, "All too often virtue seems to be sought through verbal violence. All too often, real violence ensues and acts of unspeakable cruelty are still perpetrated around the world against people for reasons of their religion, their race or their beliefs." Highlights of the prince's year also include his environmental work, in particular with his new Sustainable Markets initiative. Charles launched his biggest environmental initiative yet, which aims to bring industry leaders and investors together with innovators to put the environment and sustainability at the heart of the global economy. At a speech at the World Economic Forum, he said, "We simply cannot waste any more time. The only limit is our willingness to act, and the time to act is now." The Prince of Wales has been hot on the issue of the environment for 50 years, having first given a speech about the problem of single-use plastics back in 1970. Now, the environment is one of the most talked about issues in society, with social activists like Greta Thunberg leading the charge. Charles said this year, "To me, it's absolutely crucial that we don't battle with nature, we actually work with it. And the wonderful thing is to see this new generation is wanting to do all these things, so perhaps I wasn't as mad as all that." Charles also marked 50 years since his investiture as the Prince of Wales last year and reflected on the time when he drove all over Wales meeting many different people. He said, "I'd never seen so many people in all my life. People were so incredibly friendly and enthusiastic. It was remarkable." He also looked back at 50 years of running the Duchy of Cornwall in an ITV documentary. In the program, Charles emphasized the importance of putting people and communities first. He said, "It's the people who matter in the Duchy to me and the challenges they face individually. And that's what I feel is the vital part of this long-term investment in people and their environment and the future, even if I'm not there." He also became a grandfather for the 4th time last year, welcoming the birth of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's son Archie Harrison Mountbatten-Windsor. However, he also had to deal with Megxit organizing the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's departure from royal life. Meanwhile, Camilla quietly got on with promoting the causes she has been close to this year: literacy, active aging and domestic violence. During the coronavirus lockdown, the royal couple have been doing numerous Zoom calls with their charities, the public and with frontline workers with messages of thanks for all their hard work. Charles was unlucky enough to actually contract COVID-19, although he experienced only mild symptoms. He said afterwards, having recently gone through the process of catching coronavirus, luckily with relatively mild symptoms, and I find myself on the other side of the illness, but still in no less a state of social distance and general isolation.